crap! How are we doing, everyone? It is another beautiful day. Coming at you with a review for this Ryobi Pruning Saw. I have put this thing through its paces, and it is an absolute unit. Let's take a look at what it can do. First things first, we've got our pile of brush, and believe it or not, aside from the stumps that I pushed out with the skid steer, all of these branches, that is a 3-incher, that is what's left of a 6-inch tree, I literally cut with this little 6-inch saw. The tension mechanism is so simple, it's genius. And this is the original chain. I have literally cleared a whole bunch of trees. This whole house was overgrown. It was wrapped in trees. I'll see if I can cut some footage into that. You can see these trees here that I lopped off on this dirty burn pile, cleaning up this whole property here. That right there is a 6-incher, and I was able to just go in there like that and lay that sucker over. That entire area over there, you can see right there at the tip of the saw, that is a very large tree. I did not cut it with this one, but that area right there, all the way to the other side of that house, was full of 4-inch trees, and I felled them completely with this Ryobi 6-inch pruning saw, and the entire operation took 3 4-amp batteries. This thing is amazing. Now, this chain has seen a lot of use. Let's see how long it takes to cut through a 2-inch tree here. About 10 seconds. That is with a well-used chain. And let's see what it does to this 4-inch tree. It does not care. Taking it like a champ. No problem. Took about 30 seconds and maybe 25. This thing is a beast. Like I said, I've been able to do 90% of the clearing on this property with this thing right here. I had to break out the larger saw for that big tree right there. You can see we've got what's left of a mulberry bush hacked off. The chain has been doing awesome. Say what you will about Ryobi tools, I'm impressed every day with them. Now, after COVID, their battery drills did kind of get a little crappy. I've smoked 3 or 4 of those, and I've got my original OG brushed drill that's still hanging in there. But this thing has the perfect gear reduction, and you can literally saw through something like that and fell it. You can see how I did achieve that. To get this done, I had to break out my 40-volt chainsaw. This entire area was full of 4-inch trees. You can still see some of the stumps, and I was able to just come in and take out this entire fence row and trim it and then push it out with the skid steer. This thing is awesome. Take it from a guy that really works his tools, not a weekend warrior. I use these tools every day. Ryobi is leading the way on affordable tools that are so handy, and they really have an awesome variety. This one here is a 10 out of 10. Just got my phone propped up against what's left of a tree that I'm taking out. Hopefully you can see this really well. Now you can see that my chain has some slack in it. You don't want to run it that way. Another thing I do like to do with this is just dump a little motor oil on it before I use it for a day. I haven't done it in a couple of days though, so it can work dry, but it would just be easier on everything to be lubricated. So I'm going to show you how to tension the chain here. I have flipped up this little turny thing here, and turning it to the left loosens it. And now I can turn that by hand. You want a slight amount of deflection on your chain. That's perfect in my experience. And we just tighten that back up and you're good to go. I haven't slipped a chain off yet. This thing is awesome. And this little kickback guard is nice. because oftentimes you're pruning like this and that is the perfect space for it to come back and hit you in the face. Another super awesome thing about this is that it's small enough to ride in the tool basket on my wheel loader over there, if you can see that. And it's small enough to just put right next to me on the floor in the skid steer. So if you need one of these and you need to do some fire log and you need to cut some small firewood or do some pruning for what it's actually designed for, it'll do good either way. That concludes the review. Now I'm going to start in with the little vlog that I'm making about subduing this small homestead for myself. If you guys have any interest in that, keep watching. If not, adios. If you got some time to kill, take a look at this video or some of my other ones. Let's get to work. The mission for the rest of this beautiful Sunday, super hot outside, but that doesn't stop me from drinking my hot coffee, after I've kept hydrated, of course, is to clean what's left of this fence row out so that when we nuke this old house, we can bring in 2 feet of dirt and solve the occasional, very rare flooding issues that this property has. Nonetheless, you got to have it because a rare flood is still a flood, and I don't like mold or moisture issues in my house. We're going to be moving in a manufactured home. I bought an old 2008. We're going to be putting it right there where that house is, but there's going to be 2 foot of dirt on top of that, so stay tuned for that process. I've rambled on long enough. Let's take a sip of coffee. Ah, that's good. Embrace the heat, embrace the suck. Drink some more coffee. Get to work and get this brush out of here and all of this crap. And maybe we can get rid of that stump today, but I doubt it because it's pretty hard in there. Let's get the rest of this cleaned up though. I've been pushing these roots and stumps and root balls out with the skid steer. It's been doing pretty good. So let's keep doing that. I am gathering up the loose T-posts because those will get into your track and destroy your machine. Skid steer makes light work of these old T-posts. And we just take them to the scrap. All right, now we just have to do that about 15 more times. I was using my KRW23 AGT wheel loader. Check out my review on that. I was using him to pull the T-posts, and I pulled all of them that I could, but most of the T's were wrapped in roots, so he just couldn't pull them out. Then I had to work them back and forth with the skid steer. And this crap right here, this old fencing wire, hopefully you can see that, that will get wrapped around your sprockets, and your nice skid steer won't be a nice skid steer after that. Got to police all of this up. Ugh, you got to be careful with that stuff. It can hit you in the eye. This crap too, this old weed cloth, will wrap up in your wheels and sprockets too. You got to get it out. It's kind of, oh yeah, it's good for you. Nasty. Oh, found this old swing over there in the corner. It was all covered. Thought I had dragged all of the old crap out of there, but this place never fails to surprise me. Gonna grab it with the grapple that I built for the honey badger. First, I gotta get it out. There we go. All right, let's fire the old girl up. I had some custom decals made for this thing and called it the honey badger because it's a pretty strong little machine. Can you believe I only paid $3,800 for this thing? Got to do this one-handed so I can hold the camera. So that's why I can't really operate this as fluid as I normally would. Got to make sure you guys have a stable view. There we go. And we got it. Let's drag it out of here. Honey badger doesn't care. Honey badger just takes what it wants. And then we hit our switches here, and that will raise up our 12-volt actuators. Done and done. This thing doesn't have a parking brake, so you got to drop your scoop or make sure you're on level ground. And then we grab it just like this, and we flip it onto the scrap heap. All right, let's grab something with the grapple. Grab some of this crap. I'm gonna switch to the skid steer because the honey badger's nice, but the skid steer can just push this stuff around, and it's made for this type of work. But we'll grab that crap. There we go. Honey badger doesn't care. Honey badger just takes what it wants. Let's get it to the burn. For the life of me, I can't push what's left of this tree out, so I'm gonna hack it off with the Ryobi. There we go. All right, let's hop in the old skid steer, do some more pushing. Let's push this pile of crap into that other pile of crap. Yep, looks like a pile of crap. All right, and that is one fence row deleted. It went all the way down there to the tip of my finger at that little dirt mound there. We've done some good work today. Now we've got to do some small cleaning up, and then it's time to get out of here. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one. Whew.